Hi everyone, it's Tracy. Today I'm going to do a sort of general tarot-y, project-y kind of video. I've got some new decks that I want to show, and the reason I'm really showing them is so that I'll slow down and take a decent look at them. I've got some projects that I've been working on that I want to show, and I think I've got a little rant coming up too. So let's start with some of the decks that I have acquired recently. Doesn't mean that they're new decks, they're just new to me. And I got today, thank you Elise, in a trade, I got Art Through the Eyes of the Soul and the Secret Language of Color. I hadn't ever actually even heard of this Oracle deck, but Elise wanted one that I had and was willing to give up, and I looked at her list and that just looked interesting to me. It is by Paintings and Text by Cheryl Yambrick Rose. 52 original gilded cards and guidebook. So you can see, oh, that's really lovely. I've got a new setup today. I got a new tripod and a light because I live in a house that has no windows and getting natural light is just virtually impossible. So I'm trying out some new things today. How to use the Oracle, drawing a single card. Many of the paintings in this deck are featured in Cheryl's book. The book covers 4 mythic lands where she lives and paints: Narnia, Avalon, Bohemia, and Lemuria. I've never heard of that. I have to read some more. Cleansing. Expanded meaning. So let's see. Okay, we've moved into these are the cards. So we have a picture. And each of the cards lives in one of these fictional places. Let's see. Oh, you can see I've got some bad shadow there. Embrace the 3 worlds. This looks like it'll be interesting. I will definitely have to read the guidebook for this one. But the artwork looks interesting. And you'd think that those borders would bother me, but they really don't. Anyway, I think they're cool. Love Conquers Death. And the only one of these fictional places I know much about would be Avalon. I've done some Arthurian legend study, but I've never done any, read any of the Narnia books or any of those other things. And sadly, I wanted the Mythic Oracle, the one by Raven Phelan, and I wanted the Blue Angel version, which I couldn't get in the US. So I ordered it from the book depository. I swear it's been 2 weeks and I still haven't gotten it. It's driving me nuts. But this made me think of that. So that's like, it will be interesting. Can't wait to start working with that. Next, First Impressions is the Secret Language of Color cards. These have been on my list for a while. They just look really... I'm very much drawn to bright colors, and I love these very close-up photographs. I think that's just really gorgeous. Gray, learn to scan your body. Silver, be persistent. I love this card, Aqua. It's one of my favorite colors. Oh, Auburn. Yeah, I think I could meditate with these. Just focus in on the drop of moisture on a single cherry. I am a gemstone lover. Interesting. Cool. Let's have a quick look at the book there. For thousands of years, people have used color for healing, entertainment, to create beauty, and to feel more radiant and alive. Colors are everywhere. This is how people use color to heal, how to use the cards. It talks about the chakras. You can place the card on your chakra, apparently. Surround yourself with color. What colors do I need to work with? And then into the cards. So I think this is another, this one will be more of a one card draw type of deck as opposed to doing some spreads or anything. Interesting. I really love just to look at them. Oh, isn't that pretty? And I'm not usually drawn to photographic decks, but I think it's because they're so close up. You know, there are no people standing in weird poses. That'll make you hungry. It's just a close-up that highlights the color that it's talking about. So, yeah, I'm excited to work with these. Let's see what they say to me. And then I got the Nature Spirit Tarot. I was watching one of Veronica Jude's videos, and she showed this deck and called it an ambient purchase. I don't take Ambien, so I don't know about that, but I saw it and I had to have it. It just intrigued me no end. It's an independent deck, and if you're in the United States, it's not all that expensive. I understand it is kind of pricey to get it shipped, but I have looked at this one a little bit. And the book is just really fantastic. It talks about the definition or the explanation for the card. Then it will talk about the animal that's featured on that card. And it will also talk about the herbs or plants that are featured on that card and what they are and what they mean. And this particular nature deck I found very interesting because there are no mammals. It is all birds, fish, and insects. And, you know, I'm a girl. I'm not all that fond of insects, but she hasn't made them creepy or scary. She's made the insects just very, very actually attractive. And I love dragonflies. I have to admit, I love spiders as well. I think spiders are just really cool and interesting. Plus, you know, if you see a spider, it doesn't run at you or away from you. It just doesn't care that you're there at all. It just ignores you. So spiders are great. I like spiders. But if you've seen Veronica's video, you've probably seen a few of these cards, particularly the majors, because Kasha did a majors on majors with this, which is one of the reasons I got it, because I wanted to try that majors on majors activity. And these cards are huge, and you'll be able to put another card on top of it and still see what the cards are. The minors are a little pippish, but not. They do have some, like this, the Three of Cups. You've got a few quail there. And here's the Four of Cups. You've got a snail. And the Five of Cups is some sort of vulture. But see, that's not a creepy or gross sort of grasshoppery insect. It's kind of cute. Got a little face on it. And you have a salmon for the Eight of Cups. And a fuzzy little caterpillar for the Nine of Cups. And this family of swans for the 10. And the pages are all insects. I think they're all actually beetles. And that's cute. You know, that's not a scary bug. And then the knights are birds. The queens are all some sort of a stinging insect. So they're bees or wasps. And then the kings are also birds, I believe. And some of them have crystals in them as well. And she explains what crystals they are and why she put them there. Look at that. I love ladybugs. Ladybugs are wonderful. But it pretty much follows the Rider-Waite tradition. The meanings are fairly Rider-Waite. And see, here you have the Five of Wands. And you've got different kinds of bugs kind of having a little battle. But they're not gross or creepy. Moths, the moths are the only thing I'm not really fond of moths. Because they kind of flit all over the place and end up places you don't want them, and it's just kind of creepy. But my one little phobia is moths. You can see. Let's see, we have a Page of Wands. She even explains why she, you know, this particular page, he has this feathery antenna, this bug, and I don't remember what kind of beetle it was. But she explains why she used that for the Page of Wands. I'm really, really looking forward to working with this one. The colors are just spectacular. The artwork is just lovely. So thank you, Veronica Jude, for enabling me to get a deck that I didn't even know existed. And yeah, this is going to be a challenge to shuffle. I mean, I have big hands. That's a big, big deck. But I'm looking forward to looking at that, reading through that book. And then I saw Kasha use this in the Majors on Majors with the Nature Spirit Tarot. And I had thought about this deck before, but had never gotten it. And then I think it was Elise who was talking about this deck as well and said that the book was really good. I think, of course, the book is out of print because US Games, when they do put a book out there, I swear they put it out for 20 minutes and then they're not in print anymore while the deck is still in print. The Medicine Woman was another one where, yeah, they put out a book for the Medicine Woman Tarot, but can you find it? It's really hard to find. So I just opened this. I have not looked at this at all, but I believe Elise was the one who said that this book was just really, really good. So I thought, oh, well, I will get that and I will work with the Herbal Tarot with the Nature Spirit Tarot. I think those will accompany each other right well. This is US Games, which means I have another bit of plastic to get into. And I'm back with some scissors. Oh, this can be a nice segue into my rant. People who create decks for US Games, stop it with the borders. Stop it, stop it, stop it. You know, I don't mind so much the white border. You look at that card. If it had just a white border on it, that would be fine. I would have absolutely no objection to that card with a white border on it. But they have to put the entirety of their copyright on the front of every single card. What does that say? Copyright 1988 and 2004 US Game Systems Inc. on the front of every single one. Plus, what on earth is going on? The thing that really gets me, I could probably even live with that and the white borders. It's the white borders on the back. I'm sorry, US Games. I hate it when you put those white borders on the back. And one of the projects I've been working on lately is actually with the Lover's Path Tarot. Again, copyright. I could live with those white borders. They're not great because really none of these cards have any white in them, where it looks like these have some white in them. So I could live with the white borders. Some of the, you know, there's white down here. I could live with the white borders. These cards have no white. If it's anything, it's cream. So those white borders are stark and annoying. But what's really annoying is the back. Look at that. All this lovely maroon garnet color with the little hearts and the little wings and this obnoxious white border all the way around it. So you think, okay, I'll just take it off at the white border. Well, you can't do that because if you do, it actually cuts up halfway up the word here. So one of the projects I have been working on recently, I've just started it, is to trim and reback that particular deck. I have 2 copies of this deck because I ordered one thinking it was the full previous version that had the book with it. And with this deck, you really need the book if you don't already know all of these lover legends. I think we have here Tamino and Pamina, never heard of them. Now, Merlin and Vivian, yeah, I've heard of them. I know who they are. Scheherazade and... I've heard of Scheherazade, but not the other one. Cleopatra and Caesar, yes. So I needed the book, so I ordered a secondhand copy off of eBay, really cheap, just to get the book. So I have 2 copies in case I make a mess. But I could only trim around the sides, and that would have left a white border at the bottom. So I got some contact paper and am in the process of putting the contact paper on the back, because you will see that if I just trim it this way, which, yes, I just use scissors to trim. have an X-Acto knife, and I have I have one of those that slides, not a guillotine, that goes chomp, and those are too expensive, and plus I'd probably chop my hand off if I did that. But the slidey ones that you can buy like in Michael's, or I actually saw 2 in Target yesterday. They don't cut this cardstock very well. But my X-Acto knife, I can take my X-Acto knife and see where I've kind of got this piece right here where I don't think I quite got it where I wanted it to. I can take my X-Acto and shave it. But you see what that leaves? And actually at the top, you can see I've cut it all the way to the top, but it leaves white at the top. So I had to reback them. And I found this lovely contact paper. It's a little bit more expensive, this lovely contact paper, at Amazon. And I could have, you know, been very clever and made sure I had one of these medallions in the center of every single card. But this was $15 a roll, and that would have been a lot of waste. So you can see I didn't do that. It's just going to be like this so that I can get as much out of it as possible. But I really like the texture that this particular contact paper gives to these cards. These cards weren't flimsy to begin with, and I think they're really nice now. So that is going to be a fun project. I can only do that for an hour or so at a time, and then my hand starts to cramp all up and I can't. I have to stop. So anyway, sidetracked. We were going to look at the Herbal Tarot. It's Rider Waite. The artwork's a little crude, but I think it will be very attractive on the Nature Spirit. So if we did a... They're complementary. And yeah, I don't think I'll trim these. Not right away anyway. They might eventually get trimmed. I did that with the Vision Quest Tarot. And it just, it made the backs better, but I don't know. Anyway. So US Games, stop it with the borders. You know, I don't have to have borderless cards. I'm not that nitpicky. I just don't want my... You know what you did with the Jappery? Do that. I like those borders. Those borders are good. I am going to stop ranting now. So now on to some projects I've been working on. Projects that I have been working on. First of all, and that's not even the card to show. Anybody heard of Echo Chernik? She did a Kickstarter to republish her Color Your Tarot. And I had a deck. It had been out of print for a while, but I had managed to round one up on eBay because I wanted to really use this as an activity to help me get to know the cards, was to color my own cards. And this particular Echo Chernik version of Coloring Your Own Tarot, she's got enough sense to know that you can't have minute little details in a tarot card where you're going to come in with a magic marker or a colored pencil, because you can't get anything that looks halfway decent. So I backed her on Kickstarter to redo it. You see, I got an autograph and everything. So this is another project I've been working on very slowly, because you can see I have one card done so far. I've gotten the full card done so far. I'm trying to use, I'm using a couple of different things. I'm using markers and watercolor pencils. And I've been playing and that's the thing, is I've been playing and playing with all the tools, trying to find the medium that I wanted to use to actually color the cards before I started messing with the cards. And then I said, I'm going to go for it. And you can go to her website, and it's $20 to get a deck. So I've got a second deck so that if I get 3 cards in and decide I want to change direction and want to go with, you know, all colored pencil or all marker, I can have some extra cards. Or if I just mess one up royally, I've got a spare. She's also selling spares of, like, you can get spares of all the majors, spares of each of the suits, that sort of thing, for less money. But yeah. And you can see you get 2 magician cards. You get a female and a male magician card. I'm going to use the male because there is absolutely no need for this woman's boob to be hanging out. So I'm going to be using the male magician card for that reason. And I used the female magician card to test out some of the colors and things that I was trying. So that project is going to take, oh, and you get blanks. So you could draw your own if you really wanted to. You only get a couple of blanks, or maybe just one. Yeah, just one. But you could draw your own extra card if you wanted to. This is going to take forever. The cardstock is but I do like the previous version of this deck that was produced by a publishing house, and I don't remember which publishing house. The cards were a little bit bigger, and they had white borders, and I do like the black borders better. And there were some other little tiny details that are better on this deck. But again, the cardstock is kind of But it's really for me to help me bond with the cards more than anything else. Although I did buy some sealer, a spray-on sealer. So I probably will use them once I get them done, which will probably take 2 or 3 years. I'll probably edge them in black too. So that's one project I've been working on. Another project is my little white book. Now, I did not do Midori because Midori doesn't really allow for mistakes too much. So I got this cheapy little, it's leather, but it's a $12 journal off of Amazon. And it has rings, so it's a ring binder, which is what I like because that way I can take things out, move them around, put in new ones, and nobody has to know. I've got tabs for the suits. The majors come first. And then I've got a tab, the red tab is going to be the wands. And these are just, the way my brain works is if I find a definition for a card, that's going to be where my brain goes almost every single time. So as I read through different books and get different interpretations or ways of looking at a card, I jot them down in my little book. Even different decks. This is Rider-Waite, so it'd have to be sort of a Rider-Waite deck. But I took the Pocket Rider-Waite deck. No, not the Pocket, the Mini. This is the Mini Rider-Waite. I trimmed the borders off of it, and then I took clear packing tape and taped the little cards down so I would have a picture of each card. Just to, I'm getting to the point where I don't really need reminding what the cards look like, but just to, I think, kind of pretty it up. And I put them all in kind of different spots on the page so that you wouldn't have one big lump. So that all the cards weren't here and you didn't have this giant lump right there. And you can see some cards I've added more stuff to than others, and it'll be a work in progress. I'll have 2 pages for each card, and I put some extra pages sort of in here so that I could do some other things. I have a different 3-ring binder, a full-size 3-ring binder that I use for things like spreads and other kinds of activities that I've gathered. And then I have a 3rd set of journals that are my daily journals where I write whatever's going on that day, what my daily draws are, just my random thoughts and that sort of thing. So I actually have 3 different sets of journals that I use, and this is just one of them. But I wanted something small for my quote-unquote little white book. And these are intended, obviously, to be travel journals because they have the little compass on them and everything, but you can think of that compass as sort of how to navigate through life. And so that's my little white book. Well, that's not white. And then a couple more things. I hate, obviously, the Llewellyn, the way they package their decks. You can't store them in those boxes. So I try to find, I've been searching for ways to store my Llewellyn decks. And I found a couple of different things that I wanted to share. These tins I got off of eBay. They came all the way from China, so it took like 3 weeks for them to get here. But they're really nice for storing the new Llewellyn decks that are a little bit bigger and use thicker cardstock. And I love that they have these little, it's sort of like acetate or something, some sort of clear plastic. And I can actually see what deck is in the box. It's a little bit bigger than it needs to be, but it works really well. And you can see here I've even got the Housewives Tarot in it with the little book that came with the Housewives Tarot. So it holds a Holds a nice little bit of deck, and you can see what's in there. And then for my older Llewellyn decks that are the thinner cardstock, I went to MakePlainCards.com. They sell tuck boxes, just tuck boxes, for 80 cents a piece. Cost more to ship them, and it was $8 to ship them. So I've got quite a few extra white little tuck boxes. But this way I can put my decks in my little cabinet where I keep them, and they're in a box and they can stack up on top of each other, which is the big thing for me. Because when I was storing them in bags, they just wouldn't stack up on top of each other, and I was wasting a whole lot of space and stuff was falling over. So I like boxes. Boxes and tins. The only problem with these tins is they don't really stack up on each other, so they kind of do this sliding thing. Anyway, I'm happier with this than I've been with anything else I've found so far. If anybody else can find anything, let me know, please. I think this video is running on forever. A couple more new acquisitions, since I seem to be going in a circle. I wanted a Thoth deck. I did not want a new Thoth deck. You've seen if you've seen my channel, you've seen that I bought that book and deck in a box, and was terribly disappointed, particularly with the size of the cards and how tiny they were. So I started looking on eBay for a vintage deck, and you know those vintage Thoths are kind of pricey. And then I found this one. It came with this book, the Mirror of the Soul book, which is, you know, an older book, but still it's as much as into Thoth I think as I want to get. And it had these cards with it. This is a vintage deck. It doesn't have the white borders. It has the nice green borders on this side, but somebody had laminated it. I just find that so amusing that it was must have either been used for teaching or for somebody who was using them a lot, because I can't shuffle these things at all other than like that. I mean, that's the only way to shuffle this deck, is kind of an overhand. And it'll take forever for me to actually get them mixed up. But they do pretty well that way. But I just thought that was so hilarious that somebody had laminated. And of course, because they were laminated, they were 20 bucks for the whole set. So I got this to be my Thoth deck. And yeah, we'll see how that works. We'll see if I ever even look at it. And last but not, oh, here we go. Yes, this. I got this week. I'm so excited. This is the Soulflower 2017 Plant Spirit Daily Journal and Weekly Calendar. As you probably know, this is my favorite Oracle deck. And she came out with this wonderful little day planner, weekly planner. You can make some notes. You can put your daily draw in. You can talk about your week. You have a little bit of a year ahead. And it has all of pictures of the paintings and little quotes. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. So we'll see how long I actually use this. It was not, for what it is, it wasn't terribly inexpensive. It was, I think, $35. So for that reason alone, you might actually see that I use it. But it's a lovely size. You can stick it in your bag. You can't stick it in your pocket. But it's also an indie artist that I'm really passionate about. So I was really excited to get that. And that's it. That's sort of all over the place what I've been working on and new stuff. And I hope y'all have a great day. Bye.